Dear students, good morning. Today we go through the poem England in 1819 by Percy Bysshe Shelley. He was a romantic poet. First we go through the recitation of the poem and then we will go through the summary so that we can understand the poem in its entirety. An old, mad, blind, despised, and dying king. Princes, the dregs of their dull race, who flow through public scorn. Mud from a muddy spring, rulers who neither see nor feel nor know, but leech like to their fainting country cling, till they drop, blind in blood, without a blow. A people starved and stabbed in the untilled field, an army whom liberticide and prey makes as a two-edged sword to all who wield golden and sanguine laws which tempt and slay, religion Christless, godless, a book sealed, a senate, time's worst statue unrepealed, are graves from which a glorious phantom may burst to illumine our tempestuous day. Now, this is the recitation of the poem, and we go through the summary of this. This sonnet provides a kind of a journalistic report on the state of England in 1819. King George III, he was an old, mad, blind, despised, and a dying king, with his son ruling England because George III was unable to do so. The people are starved and stabbed, while the army and the laws simultaneously exert power and hurt the people. The Christian leaders are Christless, yet maybe some new, calm light will arise from the best of the old England. This is, in whole of this pessimistic poem, an optimistic note. Now, what is the broad analysis of this poem? Now, this poem is Shelley's devotion to liberty and equality and his radical denouncement of tyranny and power. The sonnet, England in 1819, directly attacks the king and his successor, his son. The current king, he has gone mad in old age and is hated by the people of England. The problem is, under the current system, the only thing to replace him with when he dies is a continuing monarchy under the king's son, who is not expected to improve matters for England. Shelley accuses the monarchy of having no true human emotion, relying on the labor of the country's poor to provide for the ruling class, at least until the common people are killed for no reason by their own army, which they live to provide for and to serve. The Speaker thus has no faith left in the leading institutions in England. He condemns the army, he condemns the law, the religion, and even the Senate. The Speaker goes into detail over the troubles in England, the madness and the blindness of the king, the muddled genetic line that includes the prince, or rather the princes, the ignorance of the nation's rulers, and the tired and hungry masses. Percy Bysshe Shelley also alludes again to the Peterloo massacre, calling the people stabbed in an untilled field. His disgust with the state of nation is deepened with his use of imagery and metaphor such as dregs, muddy, leeches, blood, sanguine. The ruling classes are figured as blood-sucking leeches who are mainly parasites on the people. The army is needed, yet it has turned against their own people. Similarly, the laws are also two-edged sword, and even the religion of the rulers is Christless and a tool of oppression, instead the opposite. Still, as Shelley often does, the poet ends in optimism. The last two lines optimistically yearn for revolution. Despite all of these corrupt establishments throughout the land, there is a chance the people will rise up and a revolution of illumination will calm the anarchic tempest of the ruling class. The glorious phantom, line 13, is, as we know from other poems, something like the recovery of reason and understanding, the basis for a revolution that will revitalize the best of the old traditions and institutions of England on a new basis of rationality and appreciation for nature. The sonnet uses an AB rhyme scheme in the first 6 lines, followed by CD in the final octet. There is no clear break between the two parts of the poem. However, for the whole poem, Whole of the poem in itself appears to be a single sentence. There is not even a break between the pessimistic first 12 and a half lines and the final optimistic 1.5 lines. It is one complete thought about the state of England in 1819. If there is to be a revolution, it will occur later. The phantom of enlightenment has not yet arrived among the people.